I am Nikorasu with the Paparasu, and this is my review video on WWE 2K24. And hopefully I do a better job in this review than I did with WWE 2K15, cause whew, that was bad. I'll start off by talking about the gameplay, and after that I'll talk about the modes. Now, before I get into it, can you guys do me a solid? Can you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and check out all my other videos. The game is a mix between arcade and simulation like it usually is, which I've always been fine with. I mean, I would have to be if I buy the games every year. With the exception of WWE 2K20, which I made the right call on. The graphics look fine for the most part, but after WWE 2K15, I don't care about graphics as much as I care about gameplay. As long as the game is fun to play, I honestly don't care how it looks. WWE 2K24 does have new features, like being able to throw weapons at your opponents. This is enjoyable and something I'm never gonna get tired of doing. Like in AEW Fight Forever, you can have up to 5 finishers and signatures, but unlike in that game or any other WWE game, you can choose which one of them to be super finishers. In order to be able to do a super finisher, you gotta have 3 finishers and have your opponent in the right spot. 2K have added new matches, with the first being gauntlet matches, which haven't been in the game since the SmackDown vs. Raw series. When setting up a gauntlet match, you can make it to where everyone are opponents or you're facing a team. You can even choose the numbers in the gauntlet match, from the least being 4 to the most being 30. If you want to have 29 CPUs go up against you, you can do that. The next is an ambulance match, which to my knowledge hasn't been in any wrestling game except for SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 on the DS version. And as you could have guessed, you gotta get your opponent into the back of it and close the doors. Casket matches, which I believe haven't been featured in since the old SmackDown games on the PlayStation 1 or 2. But unlike in those games, the casket match in here is completely accurate. My only complaint about the casket matches is that there are no special finishes for you to put your opponent in the casket. And finally, the return of special guest referee! It is good to have this back. Now, as I'm sure you all know, as special guest referee, you can be a fair referee, but what fun is that? Now, I'm sure that all of us that play special guest referee just want to screw someone over. And why? For the fun of it, of course. The match that we've been begging for so long to return has finally returned. Though I do wish that when you're the special guest referee, your signature and finisher will build up a bit faster. Especially when you're doing your job like counting the pins, checking submissions, and doing countouts. The first mode I'm going to start off with is the one that's been in the games the longest, Universe Mode. Whenever I'm on Universe Mode, I usually only play for an hour. Since 22, you can choose to either do Superstar Mode or Classic Mode. I usually do Classic. I don't really do rivalry actions that much, but I kinda should, because it does make it fun when you're able to choose what cutscenes you want to happen. But even still, Universe Mode hasn't been the same for me since WWE 12. Next I want to talk about everybody's favorite mode, Showcase. For me, Showcase was fun for the first few years, but I just don't care for it anymore. I only play it just for the unlockables. And 2K24 Showcase is no exception. I usually prefer playing through events that happened at least 12 years ago. While there are matches that are well over 12 years old, there are also a lot of matches that aren't. I understand why they censor the commentary, but just having music just kills the atmosphere for me. Most people do hate the slingshot technology, and honestly, I do kind of find it annoying. But there are things in Showcase that just bother me even more than the slingshot tech. The first big issue that I have with this Showcase specifically is that they don't have every single WrestleMania. One of the reasons why I love 30 years of WrestleMania so much is that it had every single WrestleMania up to that point, and it had over 40 matches. But in 40 years of WrestleMania, there's not even half that many matches. Plus, there are big WrestleMania matches that are missing, like The Rock vs. Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels vs. Bret Hart. Like, how are those matches not in here? My second issue is having so many damn objectives. I don't get why there has to be so many of them in one match. I also don't get why I have to repeat the same objective in the same match. In the Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels match, there are 20 objectives. That's ridiculous! After completing all 20, you only unlock 3 things! Now, this is how many objectives there should be in one match at most. Having so many objectives to do just drags the match on. Now for My Faction. Here, you line up cards of wrestlers that you can unlock through My Faction or even My Rise. You can use the cards of wrestlers you have in matches. The matches can be one-on-one, triple threats, fatal four-ways, even tag team matches, which can lead you to get even more cards of wrestlers. You can do live events in a limited amount of time and get really good cards. At least I think so. I don't really touch this mode that often. My Faction is honestly my least favorite mode. Like, how is this any different from me doing this?
Four superstars ready to tangle in this match.
I just don't see the appeal of this mode. Like, maybe if it was its own game, it would be fine, maybe? Next up is My GM. I want to list off the things that I liked first, like how they finally added Teddy Long for My GM. This goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways. Drafting your own roster is always fun. And now you can finally select all your champions from the start. And they also finally added trades. And now for the things that I don't like about My GM. My opening budget at most can be $3,500,000. In the old GM mode from the SmackDown vs. Raw series, they gave you $10 million. And those games didn't even have half the roster this game has. In this version, we should be getting at least $100 million. An even bigger issue is that when I'm in the middle of drafting, I have someone in mind for drafting like AJ Styles, so I search through this list for him, and he's not on here. I don't understand why when you play through this mode, they'll leave certain wrestlers out. It makes no sense. If there's a way to fix this, please let me know. But the biggest issue is how My GM works. In order to get good ratings, you gotta put classes together that work well together, like Giants and Cruiserweights. You gotta run the show the way they want you to run it, rather than how you want to run it. And that just takes away the fun of GM mode. The way it used to be is that when you put your most popular wrestlers against each other, you get a good rating, but here you don't. It should be based around viewers' match ratings. It starts off the same when you're just playing through normal matches and expeditions. But as you increase the wrestler's popularity, and if they're in a rivalry, then the more it increases. The more popular the wrestlers are, the higher ratings you'll get. And now finally, for My Rise. In Unleashed, you start off in an indie promotion called TBD. Not only are you the women's champion, but you're also one of the co-founders. You successfully defend your championship, and then Geneva hands you a microphone for you to cut a promo. Now, I don't want to spoil too much about Unleashed and Undisputed, especially if you're interested in finding out what happens for yourself. But there is this thing that I do want to talk about Unleashed that I actually really enjoyed. The Explore storylines. And these are going to be spoilers, but only for the Explore storylines. So in each of these Explore storylines, you get new gear to wear. And honestly, the first two look way better than the original gear I gave her. The first one is about Rhea Ripley and you adapting to her brutality. And you get to become a heel.
Lately, I've been doing some thinking about the pecking order around here, in the locker room, and in the precious WWE universe. It's no secret that I haven't been the model WWE superstar the past couple of weeks. I haven't smiled, posed for the fans, or put up with any of the nonsense the suits around here are trying to get us to do. No, because something's felt off. And earlier tonight, when I had Shayna Baszler in my hands and slammed her head again and again and again into that turnbuckle. When I heard the sound her body made when I let it drop limp on the mat before I grabbed the steel chair, I finally realized what's been making me so angry. You people. Every time I go to the ring, I'm asked to put my body on the line and, like a trained monkey, entertain a WWE universe who may buy the shirts and cheer for their favorite superstars in the ring, but just don't get it. For you, this is a temporary distraction from your pathetic existences in your sad towns. But this is my life. I refuse to be the lapdog of some mark slurping a sugary drink in section 432. Like I said, I've been doing some thinking. I'm done catering to the ungrateful WWE universe. And now, I'm gonna make it my mission to destroy the whole precious WWE machine you all blindly love. Because you deserve nothing.
Oh, and did I forget to mention that you also get original entrances, which you unlock after you complete the Explore storyline? I've never seen an entrance where you push down a cameraman and laugh about it. In the second storyline, this goofy looking guy named Alfie offers you a chance to become a movie star. But Cap thinks he's a phony and doesn't trust him, until...
Coming back from break. First team to the set.
3 months later, she makes her return with a fabulous entrance and a fabulous outfit. I guess Alfie wasn't a phony after all. She becomes so popular she ends up getting her own talk show, Captive Audience. Eventually, Liv Morgan, the one you gotta talk to in order to do this storyline, appears as a guest on Captive Audience. At first, she's all nice, but I knew something was up. She claimed that Cap stole her spotlight, but Cap wasn't gonna let that slide.
Stolen? Aren't you forgetting that you said no? Poor Liv, too tired to smell cheese.
If you hadn't stolen.
No, I didn't steal. I saved that show from you. You would have been terrible at it, just like you are in all your projects.
But
What? Too exhausted from your C-list schedule to respond? Need me to wake you up? I will not tolerate this sort of disrespect on my own show. I'm done dealing with this amateur. I'll be in my dressing room when you've cleaned up the trash.
By the time she looks at Bliss, you'll get a storyline with the Supernatural, where Cap pulls off one of Shane's son's moves. After much more chaos, it'll lead into you fighting this.
Are we really seeing this?
In Unleashed, Roman Reigns has vacated his championship, and so you, as the Dark Horse, compete in a tournament at SummerSlam to become the new champion. You first have to qualify for the tournament on the pre-show with SummerSlam. Despite the chances, the Dark Horse does make it to the finals of the tournament to face Cody Rhodes, and you wanna know how that ends?
Came into this tournament's final match overconfident.
I don't think so, Corey. Cody's a veteran. At this point in his career, he's learned not to underestimate any of his opponents.
Reversal. And the ref gets taken out.
There it is! Cody hit the crossroads.
No, the story should be complete. That referee was right in the line of fire, Saxton.
Cody sees it, now checking on the official. You can see the frustration on his face. We got to get another referee down here.
Spear from Roman Reigns.
What the hell is Roman doing here?
Cody is hurt, guys, and the official has no idea. I can't believe this. Roman was supposed to be off in Hollywood, but I guess he took a detour.
Oh no, what is Roman thinking?
Reigns can't do this. No! Roman Reigns guaranteed that Cody Rhodes would not win the WWE Universal Championship, and the head of the table keeps his promises.
No, not like this, no!
Yes, Cole, yes! It's over! It's over! This is incredible! Roman is the kingmaker! This is criminal! Criminally genius! Look at the smile on Roman's face!
I can't believe how we got here. We have a new, undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
Surprisingly, you win the championship with the help of Roman Reigns. Despite how he won the championship, Dark Horse wants to prove that he can be a proper champion, and to escape the shadow of Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns does have his doubts about that, along with everyone else in this storyline. But despite his doubts and WWE management trying to put the odds against him, he faces all of his challengers head on. And he wins every single time. I enjoyed both my rises this year, but between the two, I think Unleashed was better. Simply because it explores stories. There are no explore stories in Undisputed, which I understand why, because in Undisputed, it just focuses on you being the champion. While in Unleashed, you explore new paths. My only issue with Unleashed is the lack of pay-per-view matches, but luckily it's not a problem in Undisputed. And that should cover everything I wanted to talk about in this review. After everything I covered, and after playing this game for a while, my rating for this game would be a 7 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm going to be making more videos using WWE 2K24, so I hope you look forward to those, and I hope you enjoyed this video.